Hey everybody, welcome to Mike and May's Great Adventure. Here's May hard at work.
What? Hello guys.
She's hard at work on the YouTube.
I'm watching the LS.
She's listening to Merle.
I'm watching Merle.
Wait a minute.
Engelman. Is you see it? I think it's blurred.
Wayne, thank you so much.
That's Merle's.
For stopping by.
Yeah, I'm watching.
She's a sweetheart, Merle. She's like the sweetest person in the world. But I have a little story to tell you.
What kind of story?
I told Pete today, and I said it's almost an unbelievable story. It's about a little truck driver and his wife that got dispatched to North Carolina. We're going up to Indiana. The plan was we're supposed to go to Kansas City. Hang on, let me flip this. Whoops, what happened? Gotta turn this light on. Now we got more light. So we're gonna go to Kansas City, and then from Indiana to Kansas City. Well, we got a dispatch came through. Nobody called. Just got a dispatch from Indiana to North Carolina, which it was decent, 680 miles, but it didn't deliver till Saturday morning at 6, and we would be in North Carolina Friday morning, so we'd have to wait 24 hours. So I rejected it, declined the load. I tried to call first and I couldn't get anybody to answer. So one of the fastest ways to get someone's attention is decline a load. And I got a message back on the ELD, why decline this load? And I had typed a message back that we're supposed to, the reason we're going to Indiana, we reset and we're going to Indiana is to get a load to Kansas City to get an AMAR. And then we got a message back that North Carolina has a AMAR with runs going west, because I had put that in the message that we were going west, supposed to go west. So then I finally just had put a message in, tell them to call me, and put my phone number in. Elena was out of the office today. Her and Zach, another dispatcher, had business outside the office they had to take care of. So I got the call back, and it was a new girl. She just started about a week and a half ago. I wasn't upset, and she wasn't upset. But I explained to her that if I took the load to North Carolina, I can't deliver till Saturday. So on Saturday I would be sitting at 1,460 miles. And I told her I know the type of loads that come out of AMAR in North Carolina, and they're not real long loads, and they're not really anything I'm interested in. A lot up to Ohio, Pennsylvania. I don't want to go to Pennsylvania because it's too close to home, and it's kind of painful to be that close to home but not go home. So she said that Zach was helping her. Zach said there's loads that go west out of North Carolina, and I asked her, I said, how far west are you talking? And she said, let me ask him. And at that point I said, well, ask Zach if I can just talk to him instead of going between them. This isn't Zach, the dispatcher. This is Zach. He's the operations manager in Kansas City. And so she put me on hold, and then when he got off the phone, he got on with me, and I explained to him, you know, that the load they wanted me to get in Indiana delivered Saturday morning. I'm going to be there Friday morning. I said I'm going to have to sit a day. And then I get a load out of Amar, North Carolina. All those loads go about 600 miles and maybe 700. But I would have that done. I would be wherever Sunday morning, and Amar loads you can't deliver till Monday through Friday, so I would have been sitting another day to make a delivery on Monday, probably 2 deliveries Monday, then 1 on Tuesday, and the week's over. So we would have had about 2,250 miles. And then Zach said, well, can you hang on, just let me see what loads they have out of there. And I said, yeah. And I was on hold about 5 minutes or so, maybe 10. Zach got back on. He said, I canceled that load to Indiana, or from Indiana down to North Carolina. He said, you're right. You'd be sitting on Tuesday end of payroll with about 2,200 miles. He said, that's not worth getting out of bed for. So he said, I'll guarantee you a load out of Indiana out here to Kansas City. He said, just go on up there. He said, I'll make sure it happens. We'll get you out here. And then Elena can run you west like she said she was going to. So somebody in upper management listened to little old truck driver Mike and took the time, and he's the operations manager. I mean, that's a big deal. He could have blew me off. He could have did anything, but he looked into things. He saw I was right. We don't have to take a load. I mean, I didn't have to take that. I could have declined it anyhow, no matter what they said. But he took the time and looked into it, and he's going to make sure we get out to Kansas City. So it's a story of disbelief. Some would think it's fiction, but it's actually true. It happened, and it just goes to show that Zach's the one that talked to me, told me that they would love to have me out at Kansas City, that I'll get miles, I'll be taken care of, I'll be treated decent, and he's a man of his word. I mean, this was his chance up at the plate, and he hit a home run. So that's refreshing. You don't often get that in the trucking industry. You know, I love my dispatcher, Elena. She's no bull crap. You know, she does what she says she's gonna do.
The lady.
And got a shine on my head. She does what she says she's gonna do, and now the operations manager, he backed his words up. So I am happy. Are you happy?
Yeah.
See, the difference is now we'll get the load out of Indianapolis going to Kansas City, and we'll be sitting out in Kansas City at 1,500 miles with the whole weekend to run an Amar. That's probably going to be 1,300 to 1,500 miles. So we'll end up at 2,800 to 3,000 miles. That's worth getting out of bed for. So that's our story. We're going to stick with it. May's been stuck in her little YouTube thing, so she hasn't been talking much. Thank you for watching, everybody.
What happened?
Please subscribe, comment, share, and like. Until next time.
Take care.